Welcome to the Live Again series brought to you by SugarFit. Live Again is a mantra. It's a belief that no matter how difficult the odds are against you, you can get through, you can choose to live again. In this series, you're going to come across amazing stories about grit, determination, valor against almost unsurmountable odds, of people deciding and choosing to live again. Who better to start with than the man who've had the most comebacks, who've inspired millions of us with his comebacks, Sachin Tendulkar. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Sachin.
you.
This show is all about mindset. And when I think about mindset, when almost every Indian thinks about mindset, he thinks about one man battling the mighty Australians in a place called Sharjah. So this is perhaps one of the most emotional subjects for every Indian cricket fan. So tell us, you are in Sharjah, you're playing against probably the best cricket team in the world at that point, and you've got to make India qualify. So tell us about that match, that famous first match of Desert Storm.
Yeah, how can one forget Sharjah? 1998, 22nd of April. We were playing reasonably well in that tournament. It was between us and New Zealand because Australia was beating both of us. And then we met them for a qualifier, which was kind of a semi-finals for us. And we batted second. Australia put up a big total, 282. And then we were given a target. This happened in the second half because of the sandstorm. But when we started our innings, we did not find that rhythm. Things were tough for us, and they bowled tight lines. We lost some wickets, and suddenly wind started picking up, and I thought Sharjah is getting pleasant. But then slowly, along with that, I could sense that there was a lot of dust, and later on I realized it was sand dust, and the sand had started settling on the surface, and the wind started picking up further. And that was a different experience for me. So I very subtly looked around, and Adam Gilchrist was standing next to me. एक ही ख्याल आया दिमाग में कि उसको मैं पकड़ लूंगा. So that was my thought before we went back to the dressing room.
Hold it right there. Can you imagine India's best batter, but out there fighting the mighty Australians up against it? And here you are in a situation where you have to battle to make sure India reaches the final. And talking about having a positive mindset, let me introduce you to our guest, Ramakant, who's an assistant medical officer at a hospital who suddenly discovered he was faced with diabetes. What happened? When did you find out you had diabetes? How did you find out?
When my family members, my wife came to know, so she was also shocked because we have a family history of diabetic. And their complication where my father died because of the diabetic, and my mother-in-law or my father-in-law. So we all family members are afraid of that. Something is going to bad in future. So our future is a little shaky. Even my then children's everything was in our mind. What will happen? Though diabetic is not a simple disease, it is having a lot of complications. Since I am working in a medical sector, so I have seen so many patients with the amputation and so many complications. My family, my in-laws' families, my wife, we all are were like shocked. And I stopped going for my social activities. Even actually, I'm attached to Rotary Club of Dombivali. I used to go for a play in the ground. Everything I have stopped. I was in a room only. I was not going regular for a job. I've taken a leave. I used to stay at home. I was thinking it's quite difficult to reverse the diabetic. And then I visited a diabetologist. He has started one tablet. After a few months, two tablets, three tablets, four tablets. And then our doctor has told you have a diabetic nephrologist, complication of diabetes. Then he started insulin. So initially started 12 units, then 24, then 30, and it became 40 units. Along with that, because my diabetic was uncontrolled, they say you have a sleep apnea. So I was using BiPAP machine also. At the same time, I was looking for other option. Somebody had told me go for a bariatric surgery also.
So difficult. Everything around you, sleep apnea, possible bariatric surgery, overweight, diabetes, tough situation.
Very.
And it needed a mindset. And here's Sachin in an equally tough situation. You're in Sharjah, a sandstorm is blown. You've gone back to the dressing room. What are you thinking now?
In a way, I was relieved that I did not get blown away by the sandstorm. But of course, when we went back to the dressing room, we knew that new calculations were going to come in the dressing room. Duckworth Lewis will have their own formula and work out what's the target for qualification to get into the finals,
Which is
because the
equally
game
important,
was then
exactly.
shortened. And what was the new target to win the
Win the
game?
game.
Once we were given a target, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they had reduced 8 runs, but we lost 4 overs.
My God.
Anyway, let's not get into that calculation. It's confusing, but the given target was, I think, 276 or 4, something like that. And I was very clear in my head that this is like a semi-finals for us. So it's not just about qualifying to meet Australia again in the finals, but this is the game where we need to beat them to have the upper hand in the finals. They should know that they cannot come out and just play fearlessly. If that fearlessness turns into carelessness, you can lose the game, and that was important. So somewhere in my head, I was very clear that it was about beating them.
What an innings he played, 143 runs. So Sachin recovered from there and he took India very close. It couldn't be finished, but he took India close enough that India managed to qualify. Ramakantji, similar situation, your mindset, just like Sachin. What did you do? How did you come back and counter attack?
I was looking for the option for diabetes, complication, nephropathy, OSA, hypertension, all this. So one day I was searching the WhatsApp. There I have seen some SugarFit. Other apps also I have seen. But when SugarFit I have seen and I have attended some session, so I was very much convinced with their funda and how they, advise the diet part or something like that. So then I have joined that SugarFit, and there I came to know that there is a proper diet, proper coaches, exercise, little medication, and how it diabetic happens because of our lifestyle. In fact, so there I came to know that they just teach you how to change your food which is suitable for your body according to CGM. So these are the things I very keenly observed, and after joining 3 months very strictly, whatever my coach has advised, whatever queries I have cleared everything with my coaches, my consultant, and I have followed everything strictly. And then I came to know after CGM that certain things are not suiting to me. And accordingly, with the help of my coach, I have changed my diet plan. I've done a regular exercise. I used to walk for 10,000 steps. And then I came to know that my sugar level is gradually coming down. So I have stopped insulin gradually, tapering down the gradually insulin, which was earlier 14 units, and then after 3 months, gradually it became nil. So then I was full of joy because even moral medication also came down. So I very much relieved, and my this BiPAP machine has stopped. So I was very much relieved.
What a comeback.
Just need the right guidance, correct tips.
The right guidance, the right people, and the belief that it can be
Yes,
reversed.
yes.
Similarly, Sachin, you've taken India to the finals. Now the finals are there. Again, Australia scores a big total in the 270s. Now, what are you telling yourself? How are you again motivated? And you just what, one day in between?
So when we qualified for the finals, I remember getting to the dressing room and there was a sigh of relief. Everyone was happy that on 24th of April we'll play the finals against Australia. But from Sharjah, after the game, to get to Dubai, we were staying in Dubai at that time. So by the time get back to the hotel room and you unwind, and you know you literally have to put yourself to sleep. And you're so excited about the game, so pumped up. I remember it did not happen before 2:30 a.m. And then I woke up the next morning, the body was sore. The conditions were harsh in Sharjah in April. It's hot. It tests your fitness. And then we only had one day in between. 23rd was a recovery period. And then 24th again, the finals. So when we got to the ground, before that I had done everything under the sun possible to recover and to be in the best physical shape, more so mental, because sometimes the body is ready physically, but mentally you're not switched on. And I had this habit of being mentally switched on well before the game. So I got to the ground, and there was a spring in our legs. We could see that that energy was very much there in the dressing room, which is the most important thing. Australia, being the leading side in the world at that time, put up again a big total on the board, and you know we we started chasing. Initially, it was tough. I did not find the rhythm that I wanted. Sometimes you just have to wait for your time to come, respect opposition, respect conditions, and not just think about your ability. Sometimes you have to play the situation, and that is exactly what I did. Waited for my time to come.
And of course, the time came 134 runs, one of the most famous victories in Indian history. And those two matches, 22nd and 24th April 1998, will remain enshrined in every Indian cricket fan's mind. But like Sachin got that mindset, celebrated and finished it, what did you do? What are you doing? What is your mindset now that you've conquered diabetes? Has SugarFit has got you to that journey? What is your mindset now?
My journey after SugarFit, it was lovely, lovely. I was just like Sachin sir told me. He was positive mindset. I became very positive when my HbA1c come to 5.8. My weight reduced 16 kg.
Of course, you know that the most important test for diabetes is the HbA1c test, which tells you exactly how much glucose is there in your bloodstream.
And then I was getting a comment, you are looking handsome. Even my wife told, you are looking so handsome. 22 years back, you were not handsome. So I thought all positive comments. In my hospital, I used to get positive comments. What you have done without medication. So I told regarding the SugarFit app. And then I was going out for anchoring, for musical anchoring. And then I started singing on the various platforms. Karaoke singing, even live perform. Later on, I have done anchoring, and I've totally involved in my social activities, which is because of SugarFit.
So, what's your favorite song?
I feel now I am 16 years old because of SugarFit. So my dil se, 16 years old dil se, है अपना दिल तो आवारा न जाने किस पे आएगा.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Nice, very good.
wonderful. So Sachin, like he was celebrating, iska dil to awara tha. After that, did that break a mental barrier? That positive attitude you brought, did that break a mental barrier against Australia?
See, that season we were playing good cricket, and if you asked Australian team, is India capable of beating you? They possibly would have said yes. If they play to their potential, it's going to be a tight game, and they could beat us. So the game was open. We knew that, and we got to the dressing room. You could immediately sense that there was that different kind of energy in the dressing room. It was a vibrant dressing room, and then we played really well. We ended up winning the tournament. Unbelievable celebration. What an evening that was. But when you look back at all those things, we still think about how mentally prepared we were to deliver that final performance. I thought it was magnificent.
It was magnificent. It was something any Indian supporter will never forget. Sachin Tendulkar's one-man demolition squad against Australia during Operation Desert Storm as we know it. And we heard one more amazing story today from Ramakant about his journey back and his journey into music, because he believes now that he can recover from anything. That's the kind of belief that this Live Again series from SugarFit gives you. That belief that you can always make a comeback. For more such amazing stories, tune in to our next episode. Till then, goodbye.